Well, good morning, everyone. Todd Rowland here from Florida, and welcome on board. And I just can't brag on everybody enough. This is the company is entering a growth phase, and man, everybody works together so well. Pat Klepper yesterday, she took a phone call from me when I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and spent 30 minutes on a conference call explaining Lemieux for me and the benefits of it. So it's just we're all one big happy team and family, and that's really going to be what the training's about today: is how to build your own team, your own network. Sometimes in our industry, you'll hear the statement, "The person that gets in first makes the most money," and I've been around for a really long time, and I can tell you that's never the truth, especially in new cities. When we start them, very seldom can the person that begins really build the business and be there when it takes off. So what I always tell people when they say that is you're describing a traditional business, not a network marketing business, or traditional business. The first one that started the company makes all the money. Everybody else works for a paycheck that keeps them broke their entire life. So in network marketing, the day you join, you're at the top of your business. And on day one, you may not have anybody. On week two, you may have one person working alongside of you. On month three, you might have 10. It could be less, it could be more. But I will tell you that for the most part, people that plug in, become proficient, and work this consistently over the course of 3 to 5 years, will start building a network that they're at the top of their own network of business building that will begin making a significant difference in their life. Depending on how good you get at it, how hard you work at it, could completely retire you in a 3 to 5 year window. Maybe it takes you 7 to 10. Maybe it takes you 8 to 12. Maybe it takes you 15 years to build a walk-away residual income. So I always ask people, if it took you 15 years, how does that stack up with what you're currently doing? With what you're currently doing, how many years is it going to take for you to build a walk-away income and allow you to enjoy life on your own terms? And I will tell you from my travels and meeting people, whether it's construction, whether it's real estate, whether it is owning their own small business, whether they are salaried or hourly employees, almost nobody is building a walk-away residual income. They are making a living. They are living paycheck to paycheck. And for the most part, it never ends unless they're willing to take an enormous pay cut into retirement, meaning they're not going to work as hard, but their standards of living are going to have to adjust and adapt to their retirement income. I cannot tell you how many people I meet that are in retirement that are basically barely getting by. And nobody wants to live that way. Money dictates stress. It dictates really where you eat out at. It dictates really if your kids can go to college without amassing enormous student loans. It dictates what you drive. It dictates the house you live in. It dictates how many bank loans and house notes and credit card bills you have. So guys, I always tell everybody, no matter if you started here today, yesterday, or 5 years ago, to put down on paper where you want to be at in 3 to 5 years. And I listen, you can never stop growing your mind. So yesterday, driving home from Huntsville, I had a 6-hour drive home into the middle of the night last night. So I listened to an hour-long interview of Elon Musk. And I did not know this until I heard the interview. But when Elon Musk took Tesla public 10 years ago at $17 per share, he wrote out what he called a manifestation of where Tesla would be in 10 years. And he put it out there publicly. He talked about he was going to create a such and such car. And when that car was created, it would make enough sales that he could then create the next kind of car he wanted to create. And when that car had enough sales, it would then create the next set of cars. And then it would allow him to start building rocket ships into space. So he literally wrote it on paper, put it out on a public blog for everybody to see the day his company went public at $17. And if you follow his stock, it went above 800, but it's still above 600. If you follow the stock market at all, Elon Musk made and lost $27 billion last week in the stock market's ups and downs on Tesla. So in I think it was like a 10-day period, he lost $27 billion. And then the next day made $27 billion back. So guys, don't get caught up on the wave, because I'm going to tell you, if I looked on my Robinhood app and saw a $27 billion swing, I'd have a heart attack. Wouldn't you, Aaron?
Yeah, Todd, I have a heart attack just looking at what I got some days, but it's an example of not getting caught up into the minutia, right? I mean, it's the same thing, Todd, in network marketing. some people do, some people don't. Your business is up, your business is down. But obviously he's focused and he knows where he's going, and that's why he doesn't stress out about it.
Yeah, that is actually what they were talking about, is that on a $27 billion phase, he was tweeting about dumb stuff. Like, he wasn't even phased because he has this master plan on paper and he knows where he's headed. And the particular analysts that were talking about it, they were all saying that they felt like over the next decade that Tesla would become about a $3,000 stock, and that company and Elon would actually become the first true trillionaire, because he's just wrote his second 10-year manifestation. I have not read that one yet. That video ended before it got me to it, so I'm gonna be searching for that out today. Some of you guys may find it first. But Chris, I was getting ready to start and talk about how to do this. Do you want to say anything? This is your training. I know you told me this morning you're at the beach. You wanted to just kind of run it, but do you want to say anything before you get started? I think his iPad overheated again. He's out in the sun. He's got to adjust out here to the
It did.
stronger rays. You're muted, Chris.
All right.
There we go.
Yep. Second iPad overheat. Now, I hate to tell you all that, but my iPad is overheated 2 times sitting out here on the deck. And, what can I say? What is residual? All thing I want to say this morning, Todd, and I'm going to turn this trick to you and Aaron, and I think Steve Swartz has even joined us, is that I worked conventional business so long and thought that was the right thing in my life. I mean, I made a lot of money, but I had zero time freedom. And when I was gone, there was always problems. Usually when I left, there was things that went wrong. There was things that I cannot stress enough. And I don't talk enough about the power of residual, because and you and Brent, I keep saying, you got to tell people. It's like, so this week I've been down here, we've had this magnificent week. I made a few calls, I texted a few people back that contacted me, but I don't know how to explain it to people until you've experienced, and people that, it's really odd to me. I have friends who think I'm nuts because I'm in network marketing. And I actually think they're totally insane for being in conventional business. It's because they don't understand. They've never experienced either side. They don't take it long enough. So I'm going to just leave this to you guys, because unfortunately, I'm probably going to lose again unless I'm going to go in the room and I can't get out of the sun. So I'll let you and Aaron handle it. I mean, I hate it, but I'll survive this morning.
Chris, enjoy your time off. You've earned it. You go get you some more sunburn today, and I'll see you at dinner tonight. Guys, so what we're going to do today is we're going to explain in very simple terms that you can continue explaining forward how this business model works for everybody involved, how it works for the company, how it works for you, how it works for the distributors, just kind of what makes the whole system work, and why this is the cleanest business model that exists on planet Earth, because it's equally fair for everybody. It's based upon performance and it's based upon work. The old saying about a salary is a salary is a large corporation's trick that they learned years ago, that they kind of know the gauge of a salary, how to pay you just enough that you're scared to leave them because your lifestyle is met by your salary. So you end up giving 30 years of your life to a company where the CEO may be making $35 million a year and you're on $150,000 or $100,000 or $75,000 a year salary, building his company where he, if you go put the skill set into this or develop the skill set this takes, now then you're the CEO of your own business. But here's the great thing about it, the fair part about it, is everybody you're bringing in is not on salary. They're not an employee of yours. They don't even have to do anything if they don't want to. They don't have to have an auto ship. They don't have to talk to nobody. But if they want to do those things, then they can do them a little bit and start making some money, or they can start doing it like you and working hard at it and build a big business and be the CEO of a 10,000 distribution network. But that being said, Aaron, do you want to mention anything along those lines that we're going to go into now? I want to explain to you how the company works for us, and then we're going to go into how to build that network.
Todd, the only thing that I would just say is anybody that has a desire to learn the skills to take what it really takes to go make this and make that walk over, anybody can do it. It's just deciding to do it. people don't really decide to learn the skills at their job. They're forced to, or they don't get a job. Here, you have to decide that you're going to develop and learn the skills here, and then you can get the rewards.
That's right. So here is, and so, you know, Aaron said my favorite word in the industry when somebody asks me about doing this in any kind of way, a small way or a big way. And I always say it's just a decision, but it's a decision that takes discipline and consistency over time, not over a day. I have all kinds of people that work really hard at this for a month, and then I can't find them for a month. And then they come back and work again for a week really hard, and then all of a sudden I can't find them for 2 months. And so their business never gets any traction because nobody ever gets thoroughly trained. Nobody ever gets any momentum. Nobody ever gets their own, like our job as CEOs of our own distribution network is to build people's pay in for them, help them build that in. We create a security blanket. We're always working with them. So they're hearing our knowledge. They're hearing how we answer the questions. They're seeing how we present the business. And then I always tell people, I can't train you how to do this in a 2-hour setting. I can't train you on a Super Saturday. I can't train you on an event that you drive to Destin for. It'll build your belief. You'll get some nuggets. But if you want to learn how to do this, you got to learn by osmosis. You got to see it done. You got to see how things progress day to day. But anyway, that being said, we are going to this morning show you the system. So what New Age has done for us is we all know that it's a 50-50 split on product sales. 50% of product sales go to the company. The other 50% go to you and I and the distribution network. Why are they willing to pay us 50% of sales? The reason is because we do everything for them. We're word of mouth marketing. We put information in the system for them. We gather the customer. We train the customer. We build knowledge into the customer base's head, why they're taking the products. We get the customer on the product long enough that it starts making a difference in their life. They become a loyal, reoccurring customer. Instead of spending money on network television, where they don't really know where the customer is or who to focus on, or randomly doing it on social media, we do all their social media marketing for them. They don't have to spend a penny on Facebook ads or Instagram ads. We do all of that for the company. So it's actually not only cheaper for the company to do it this way, instead of randomly trying to put it on store shelves. And if you don't know anything about store shelves, you got to buy store shelves, and Coca-Cola and everybody gets all the good frontage, and you're always fighting for space there. Guys, we're a multiplying network of customer gatherers, and over time, if we have 5 million of us out here gathering customers, how genius of a business model is that for a company? Now, what does the company do for us with the other 50%? Well, you're looking at it. They open up markets around the world for us. It's never less than a couple of $1 million to get a new market open. So 75 times 2 is $150 million in market openings. That doesn't include building infrastructure. That doesn't include building new distribution systems. That doesn't include hiring the employees. It's a high dollar proposition to build a global distribution network that actually works around the world. I couldn't do it. I don't have the resources to even go open up Brazil. As a matter of fact, I was with the owner of a company last week that's a $10 million company, and he doesn't have the resources to open up Canada. He's like, heck, I'm living foot to mouth with $10 million in revenue, yearly revenue. So, Aaron, it's a really neat proposition, isn't it, the way the infrastructure sets up for you and I, because of what the company's doing with the other 50%.
Todd, eliminates all the headaches. I mean, I don't want to do the research and development. I don't want to hire the attorneys. I don't want to pay people. I don't want all those headaches. I mean, I've been there. I did that. I had a business. For anybody not to look at this and say, why wouldn't everybody do this? Like, why wouldn't you just want to just go do one thing instead of having to do all those things? It literally is brilliant, Todd.
So also out of that 50% that the company keeps, they must do the R&D, research and development. They must find the raw ingredients around the world. They got to get the raw ingredients, make the product, have the science and the documentation that we all take for granted that we use out on the front lines, produce the marketing and the packaging. I get as frustrated as anybody when something messes up with shipping, but but we're shipping into 75 countries with hundreds of thousands of points of sale occurring monthly. And guys, that's a lot going on. I mean, it's not for you and I, but it is if you were going to try to own this company. Think about what all goes into from the start of, I love watching some of our videos, especially on MOA. And I think it takes like 14 different countries to get 36 ingredients into one little 2-ounce package that I run by my cooler in the refrigerator and grab. So that's what the company's doing for us. They're creating all these beautiful, clean products that are best in the marketplace, that make differences in people's lives. And if you're not working the business on the front lines, you're missing it. Because when I traveled the last 3 weeks, the testimonials and the stories, and it's not weight loss is, we see that everywhere. I mean, people are dropping crazy amounts of weight with us, but it's the reduction of inflammation. It's just weird things going on in people's bodies. It's women not having hot flashes anymore. It's hormonal things coming under control. It is mind-boggling the difference we're making in people's lives, Aaron. So again, that's what the company's doing for us. All we got to do, we're just the point of sale and the marketing.
Todd, we just do what we do, right? Just share. We all do it anyway. They just are willing to pay us to do this, and just getting the word out of things that work. I love what you just said. It's not just weight loss. The stories, and they never get old, right? The stories never get old. Listening to somebody get healthier, have more energy, aches and pains going away, that never gets old.
So, Aaron, we're going to, on the next couple of slides, we're going to move into building the distribution network. And sometimes when we move into that, that's where, if you're brand new, that you can glaze over potentially, just because it's new information. And the brain, if you don't understand how the brain works, the brain actually develops grooves. It's how we develop habits. That's the reason a lot of us do the same thing every day, because it's comfortable. We know it. We don't have to actually have thinking power to accomplish it. I mean, if you've been working at your job more than 5 years, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just go do what you do every day. It's a routine. It's these grooves. So for a lot of us, I know for me, if you wanted me to sit down in a film room and draw out X's and O's and schematically put a defense in place to stop a particular offense, it was what I knew how to do. But when I joined network marketing, you tell me to set up a living room and invite a few people over to show my business, I'm like, dude, what? How do I invite them? What do I say? And as soon as they tell me, oh, people get in first, make all the money, or those products never work, or whatever they say, I'm like, how? That's what they told me. What do I say? It's like, and that's where we all begin. But so I always want to start on this page, because anytime you get flustered, come back to this. We are headed this year to somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion in sales. We're operating in 75 countries. We have about 100 products for the best in the world. There is a 50-50 split on money coming in on the point of a sale of a product. 50% of it is coming to you and I in the distribution network. So how do we create it? Well, there's only 2 things we ever do. We call it 4x4. We want to do 4 of each. We want to sell the highest quality products in the world to a customer. You can sell as many products as you want to, but the model is find 4 people who want to buy a product from you. They want to buy a probiotic. And what I will encourage you to do, this is another nugget. The first nugget was write on paper your 3, 5 year, 7 year, 10-year manifestation of what you want your life and your business to be. That'll trump everything I'll tell you today, because if you write it down and stick it where you got to look at it and actually mean it, you'll find your way. But the next nugget is, don't become a master of everything. It's a running joke with me out here in the field that I don't know anything about the X office. I actually know a lot about it, but I can't do everything. You can't be everything all the time. So I learned years ago to spend my time doing what I do best. And I share the business well. I train well. I don't like the computer. I don't like the little stuff. So I use people who that's their best asset, and we kind of make a teamwork of that. So that being said, absolutely master 2, 3, 4, 5 products. It does not matter what they are. We're not all going to be a doctor here. So for me, this is me. It does not matter. I wish I was a woman and I was pretty, because if I was, I would be doing Lucium every day on Instagram. I mean, that's just what I would do. I would just be like, I got to do this, but I'm not. So I can't do that. People are not going to watch my Instagram with me putting a face mask on. But what they will listen to me on are the 3 things that I know affect every human being. And that is inflammation in their body, low energy, and for the most part, weight management. I know very few people that aren't trying to lose a little bit more weight or gain a little bit more muscle. It goes either direction. So I found a couple of products that meet, for me, really well those 3 things. You find what you love. I love the new probiotic. It's fantastic. I love the BioPro Q, but I don't spend every day on the front line selling those, because now all of a sudden I got to teach the next person 4, 5, 6 things. Find a few things that you master, and then over time, gather your information on everything else so you become decently able to answer a question when things are brought up. So we're looking for 4 customers. And the second thing is we're looking for 4 brand partners. That's the 4x4. You get 4x4, and then you get ready to see how that'll build the distribution network. What is a brand partner? A brand partner is somebody that has paid $24.95 to be a distributor, and they have bought at least 250 points of products in their first 8 weeks, hopefully started with some type of starter pack that gets them eligible on day 1 that's discounted, and then have a active customer of at least 100 volume points occurring on a monthly basis. They're able to get paid every Friday. So Aaron, because these are the most 2 important things, why don't you go back now and hit both of them in your, because we all build differently. Why don't you hit them in your terminology and kind of how you get those 2 things accomplished?
Todd, I don't do it any different. I like to start people actually getting their 4 customers, because it's small wins, right? So again, like you, I'm teaching people to find just a couple products that are in that $40, $50 price point, because it's very simple to get on the phone with somebody and share something that you're excited about that doesn't cost them too much money. It's not a huge decision. And I love to work with people to get that done, right? Like each product sale is a win. It gets them a little bit of money, but more important, psychologically, it gets them building up that confidence in what they're doing. And then, sometimes you're talking to somebody about a product and they want to be a brand partner. Well, of course, you always go there, but it's just the biggest thing, Todd, I think that most of us miss is when you get a brand partner, that's when the work starts. That's not when the work stops. Some people, it's been so long and they celebrate and they forget that my job starts, because my job is to help them get their 4x4. And I need to work with them. And so many times, many of us maybe didn't have somebody work with us, so we were taught wrong unintentionally. But, Steve Swartz is the master of working with people and through people. But, it's really making sure that you take that sponsorship, i.e. responsibility, seriously.
Yeah, Steve Swartz is my sponsor, and I can tell you that I have never called Steve Swartz that he did not answer the phone or call me back within 5 minutes in 7 years. And I forget a lot of times that he's West Coast, so I'll get up at 6 or 6:30 my time and have a question for him and send it to him, and he responds. And then all of a sudden it'll dawn on me it's 4 a.m. his time. Like, what are you doing, dude? Are you sleeping with earplugs in your eyes? But that is really a lot of, it's about 99% of the battle is just being there, present with your new workforce, your new distribution network. So let's now talk about how do we do this. So there you are. You're that girl. You're a guy. Visualize yourself there. I always tell everybody the company has spent hundreds of $1 million on infrastructure around the world for us. Distribution centers, shipping lanes, everything. So you and I can sit and sell products in 75 countries from our iPhone, from our iPad, from our Android, from our computer. It can be done a multitude of ways. You can present, I heard Amy Summers say on stage in Destin that she now builds about 99% of her business online. I build about 99% of my business in person. we're both successful. You find what you want to do, how you want to do it. But I will tell you, it all begins with getting one person, not 4 on day one. Just find one person that will listen to you about a product or about the ability to be a brand partner, get discounts on their own product, and possibly build a residual income into their life. So now this is where the training starts. We're going to go through this for about 12 to 15 minutes and complete the day. So how do you do this? Well, let's start with picking up the phone and calling somebody, like the old-fashioned way, that if you're passionate, my favorite line that I've ever used is, a dog will never chase a parked car, but they will absolutely run after a moving one. So what a lot of people don't understand is the company is great, the products are great, the long term of our company is great, our pay plan is great, the weight loss is, all of those things are great. But what sells or attracts is you. It's your passion. It's your belief. It's your excitement. That's the reason when I pick up the phone and I call somebody and I'm excited, most people listen, and I would say plus 90% join. And I would venture to say in the beginning, most of them are not joining because they understand Slenderize or they understand network marketing. They are joining because they don't want to tell me no, because they're like, this guy is either crazy or he's on to something. And I'm going to give you a trick there. I read in a book back in the 2000s, early in the 2005 timeframe. It said this. It was a network marketing book. It was back when I was trying to make a living at this, wondering if I was going to fail and everybody's going to make fun of me the rest of my life. I was digging deep. We've all been in those moments that have gone full time. This is a real business. It is not a lollipop. It takes guts and discipline and strategy and effort and energy and picking yourself off the ground and a million different things as you're trying to get your business off the ground, like any other business would take. But here's what the book said, and I've done it now for over a decade. It said, anytime you're calling somebody to tell them about the business, to go outside your house and jog around it one time, and never, ever call them sitting down. You want to be walking around, and my kids and my wife make fun of me because they say when I'm in the car that I'm yelling on the phone. And I said, I'm not yelling, I'm speaking loud, because that you can't whisper to somebody and expect them to follow you. So step one, we're going to give you like 6 or 7 options here, but one option is pick up the phone and call. Aaron, I know that you go that route a lot.
Absolutely. I personally think that that's the best, because again, I can't through a text or a messenger or an email do what you just described, right? Like I can't be excited. I can't put enough emojis in there to share with them my excitement, my passion, my enthusiasm, my belief. All of that can come through on a phone call, and it's really hard to do that. Not saying that it doesn't work. Just for me, Todd, I'm like you. I want to pick up the phone. I want them to know that I've got something that they need to take a look at. I don't ask, I tell them.
So Richard Tuggle, and by the way, we're going to tell you how to show it in 1 second, because we got to get you some people to show, and then we'll go through that process in 1 second. So the next step, Richard Tuggle, I think you go ahead and unmute. You should be promoted up at this point. Richard Tuggle is the world's best at, he just gets in his car and goes and sees people. He knows people where he lives. He doesn't call his best friend that owns the insurance company, Richard Hawkins, down the street. He just goes to his office and says, hey, Richard, you got 10 minutes? I want to show you something. Richard, can you walk us through that process?
Yeah, Todd. That it's hard for one thing, when you're texting somebody or you send them a video or something, and it's so much harder to do the business that way, because you get the follow-up is harder. You don't know whether they saw the video, and you're hounding them. Did you watch the video? Did you, whatever, or a text message. If you get in your car and go see them face to face, they're watching it. And there's power in your emotions that you have. There's power in your body actions. your way you say things. A lot of times it's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it and what you believe that you're saying in. And they see that, you know, and of course, a lot of the Zooms, they can see you also, just like you're looking at me now. And so you get some of that also from a Zoom, but just by texting somebody or you know, sending them a message, you lose that. You really do.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and just remind everybody what we're calling them about or what we're going to see them about, because this is where the rubber really meets the road. And this is where you become good at it, is we're calling them or going to see them because we have some products in our possession that can change their life. They're dealing with inflammation. I mean, I'm watching the chat roll and look at all the testimonials that are rolling into it, that they don't have pain in their body anymore. They've lost, as Richard has, 100 pounds. They've lost 40 pounds. They have energy for the first time. I was in Huntsville yesterday, and this one lady, the reason I had Pat on the phone with her, but this one lady had Mercer in her scalp, and she had rubbed like a staph infection. And the doctors had been working on her for a year and rubbing the MOA and the Lamu on it, which I had no idea. I had to call Pat. I couldn't answer, but she was getting the best results she'd ever had. It was like the least pain she had dealt with in a year. So we get all of these wonderful, wonderful testimonials. So remember, you're not calling them to sell them something. You're not calling them to get them in your business. That is not what you're doing. If you think that way, you're never going to do this. You're going to deliver a product that can change their life. Here's the second thing you're going to do. And this is what I'm most passionate about. I was a broke high school football coach when this industry found me. And there's nothing that aggravates me more than when somebody says the first one in makes the money. Only certain people do this. Dude, my dad paid my way in a company that already had tens and tens of thousands of reps. They were all over. The first meeting I went to had the first meeting I ever attended in that company was bigger than any meeting I've ever attended in North America in RX. So it was already 10 times bigger than this. And we went over the next decade and became their number 2 money earner. It was desire and passion. So here's what I know I'm delivering to people. This is why I call them. I've got a home-based business that for $24 and $400 over an 8-week period, they own a business that can create millions of dollars into their life 3, 5, 7, 9 years down the road, depending on how fast they build their distribution network. We have a life-changing opportunity. I am not looking for some. I tell people all the time, if you sign up in my business and you do nothing, you make no money and I make no money. My job is to make you money. That's why this is the cleanest, purest business model on planet Earth, is because all of our paychecks ride together. One cannot go without the other. We're all intertwined in this business. We're not all in each other's businesses, but if you're in your business, everybody in your organization's paycheck dictates your paycheck. So your job is, if you want to make more money, this is the one piece of the model that I think that when this clicks is when lots of people start having lots of success. Your paychecks depend upon your ability to make other people money. If you develop an innate ability to go build paychecks into people's lives, you'll never spend your money in our industry. Not go sign up Steve Swartz and let him go do everything for you. That is not the way this works. It very seldom ever happens that way. And Aaron, you're a great example of that. You were a lot of people see you now on stage, or they hear you and Dr. Ginger's name moving to chairperson 2. And they're like, oh, that's Dr. Ginger and Aaron. No, it is today, a decade later. I watched Aaron when he was running his credit card up, sleeping in hotel rooms in the back of his truck, calling for help and battling to try to find somebody to help change their life, and gone from his house 2 weeks at a time and spending more money than he made on the trip. So you see the finished product. It ain't finished yet, but you see the next phase product. Aaron, it's to build a network. It's an investment into people's lives, isn't it?
It is. And it's you got to be all in. I mean, if you want to go make that kind of money, it's not something you dabble in. If you're here just to pay for your products, that's something that you can do on the side. But if you're here, if you're really wanting to create the income Todd's talking about, you have to be all in. And guys, we all start in our I don't know anybody that started here that was really good. You become good. And interestingly enough, most people that I've ever met that become very successful here were extremely broke, did not possess the skills, but what they did is they had the desire to want more. And they realized quickly that the only way that you can get ahead here is to be different than any other model on the planet, which is you must pour into other people. Every bit of information, every bit of knowledge. Think about it. Todd's got 20 years experience pouring in every bit of knowledge into people. Why? Guys, that would happen in no other industry. Go to any other industry, even go to sports teams and go to the best coach that's always winning. Are they going to give you every bit of knowledge that they have? No, and it's just not going to happen. But here, we want to shortcut your way to success because it's the only way. Todd, it's the only way that you can get ahead here is again, by lifting up other people financially.
Okay, so third way, and I always kind of cringe teaching this because it's two-edged, meaning that it absolutely will work, what I'm about to tell you. But it is also the shortcut for people that won't do the first two things. That is, call people up or go see them and share the opportunity, because that's always going to win. But here is number 3. I like to call it attraction marketing. And this can be done on Instagram. It can be done on Facebook. Probably can even be done on Twitter. But this is where you do certain things that make people ask you questions. And my encouragement is to do all of the above. And you're going to find over time what you're going to find is your niche and what you're best at. So Anthony Moreland traveled with us for a couple of weeks, and I watched him daily. And what he would do, and then I got to doing it with him so I could really get good at it. But he would do interesting things and post them on his Facebook. Not one time a day, but he would do this like 2 to 3 times a day. But I'll give you an example of one I saw him do, and then I'm going to have him walk you through what he did from there. But we were at a gas station, of all places, West Memphis, Arkansas. If you live there, I am sorry. The trucking armpit of the world. It's nasty at the gas station we're at. I mean, there's nothing cool about it. But he gets in the big 4-wheel drive truck, and he positions himself just right. I get the camera angle just right. Nobody sees our surroundings. And we take a picture of Anthony. And all I did was take the picture. He then took the picture and put on his Facebook page. He said, headed to Arkansas. And I don't know if he even said, Bill, Anthony, we'll get you to come on now and say exactly what you posted. But within 30 minutes, he had 3 different people telling him that they're tired of watching him. They're ready to see what he's doing and know how it works. So Anthony explained that attraction marketing and then how you took that. And then go ahead, Anthony, share how you put him in the Facebook group, showed him the video, followed up, go through give them the hard process of the follow-up and how you did it.
All right, I will. So Todd was like, well, I got to take a picture. And I was like, well, okay, I'm going to post it. And so all I did was, I love giving value. So I think I put a quote in the picture. I made a nice little hashtag, say, hey, we're headed off to Arkansas, Little Rock. And then next thing you know.
Anthony, one quick question. Where did you get the quote from? Because this is what I started cracking up on watching you do. Explain how you did it.
I just go to Google. And I grab a quote, something that is kind of talking about whatever your picture is kind of going to. Value is always important, you guys. And that's all you do. Google. A lot of people think you got to know every book. I can have a book and then I can be reading and I'll find a quote and like, I'm sharing that today. And just borrow it and reuse it. And so I just reused it and posted it and made it look good and maybe changed a little filter. And then next thing you know, it was hundreds and hundreds of comments. Matter of fact, one of my friends, Latavia, is on here right now. And she reached out to me, was like, hey, we need to sit down and have lunch. She just joined yesterday. Because of that attraction marketing that I did when I was on the road with Todd, it was so many people like that. But then also I had another friend that joined. Also a lady named Miss Valeda, she's on here right now. That joined because of the attraction marketing. All I was doing was giving value every single day. But she joined from social media. She's on right now in Jackson, Tennessee. She lives down the street from Chris Doyle. So it was like, but it was attraction marketing. All I did was just keep and I do it consistently every single day, you guys. And matter of fact, me and Riley are putting together a social media training that we will start doing next Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time, just on social media. We will spend an hour and just guide everybody on social media.
Hey, Anthony, would y'all want to kick your first one off on this 9 a.m.? We'll really promote the heck out of y'all if y'all wanted to do that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah, me and Riley will definitely do that. We've been learning a lot, and we've been teaching each other. We talk every morning. We talked this morning at 5 o'clock this morning to 6, and we just was training each other on social media how to get better because we won't be behind Europe too much longer. And Steve, you can tell them we told you that we won't be behind that much longer.
So one thing I would encourage you to do is follow Anthony. Follow him on all of his platforms. Watch what he does. But Anthony, let's go to the next step now, because the posting the picture was only the beginning. I watched you really work. You tell us when they say something to you. Tell us your process now, of how you get them. And then, I know the one lady there in Little Rock, because we were going to be in that part of the country, you set up a physical meeting with her, but some of them weren't. So give us both examples.
So if they're close to me, or like when a couple of my friends, they were out of town or we were in Little Rock, I said, hey, do you have 15 minutes? Kind of like what Richard Tuggle just said. I just asked him, hey, can we pull up? Richard Tuggle went with me. And then next thing you know, she's about to come into business and she's in Little Rock. But if they're not like that, they'd be like Miss Valeda. Miss Valeda, I talked to her a little bit on the phone, but instead of me trying to explain like Todd said, try to explain everything to her over the phone. And they've been telling you just find 3 products. Well, I just pinpoint them, say, hey, are you on Facebook? Can I add you to a Facebook group? And in this Facebook group, I'm going to tag you in a couple of videos. I'm not saying you go through it and you tag them in 10 different things. You find 3 different things that you want. I love tagging them in Dr. Ginger's video or Dr. Crystal's video, because now I'm not a doctor. So it takes the pressure off of me. I don't have to be an expert. And I always tell people, you don't have to be an expert at this. I just get good at directing you to where you need to go. So I tag them in. If they're interested in the business, I tag them in Todd or Crystal's video. If they're interested in products, I go Dr. Ginger or Dr. Crystal. I let them do all the hard work for me. And when I get them in a group, then also I listen to them, what they're going through. What are they looking for? Are they looking for weight loss, skincare, whatever they're looking for? That's what transformations I'm going to tag them in. And I always find like 2 or 3 of them and I tag them in that. And then I also, maybe they aren't ready the first day, which is absolutely fine. Well, within 24 to 48 hours, I'm tagging you in something else I've seen that is in that group. Because now we're starting to have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials, transformations.
So Anthony, that right there is a huge gold nugget, because whether we called them, whether we've gone and showed them, and we've shown if I show the presentation to them in person with a PowerPoint or with some products in my hand and talk them through it, I'm doing the exact same thing 100% of the time. I'm putting them in one of the 2 Facebook groups, Transformation Health Styles or Lifestyles, generally health styles to start with. I'm tagging the video. But Anthony just said what we all struggle to do, and that is, if he doesn't hear back from him a day or 2, he goes and tags him in another video, or maybe sends him like a sweet little text or something. But I watched him do this with, and Miss Valeda, if you're here today, great to see you. But I watched him do this with Valeda. Valeda reached out to him because of a Facebook post, and over the course of about 3 days, he must have spent an hour and a half overall on the phone with her, talking her through things, answering questions, tagging her another video. And all of a sudden I'm looking over there and she's signing up with an elite pack. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. He never even met this lady, and she's coming in with $1,000 product over the phone with him in my passenger seat. I'm like, you're not gonna learn anything from me. I'm learning everything from you. But it's the follow-up. I watched him work. That's where the ball gets dropped a lot of time. And Aaron, you've got Whitney and Amy and some different people you work with that do the same exact thing. They're just become excellent with their groups and their lives and their follow-ups.
Well, Todd, you just said the key thing though, right there. You watched him work. And that's the part that people miss here. It is work. You do have to follow up. You do have to follow through. whether you're doing social media, whether you're doing reach out phone calls, whether you're driving to go see them, you guys, it is work, and it is, but isn't everything work? So Anthony just mastered the follow-up, but what I love about the Facebook groups is it aids in the follow-up, right? So you can just quickly go in there and follow up by tagging them in another thing. It's a reminder. But Todd, the biggest thing that I've watched Whitney do, I mean, when she is on her phone all of the time. They just took a vacation, right? Paid for vacation. And, they were calling us. They were working while they were on vacation. Not a bad deal.
Hey, Todd, can I add something to this? This is Chris. Can I add something?
I thought you were on vacation, but you absolutely can.
I can't help it. I've listened to the whole thing. I'm sorry. I know I'm on vacation. But I just was thinking about what just happened. And because we're talking about Facebook, but just an experience that I had, Judy's car got recalled and I was in the Mercedes dealership. And so it doesn't always have to be just on Facebook to begin with. And I ended up with a salesman showing me cars. And man, I knew he could be so good. So I didn't just jump all over him about my business. I learned about him and I learned about what he was doing and why he was at this dealership. And I spent a lot of time, and he finally asked me what I did. And I said, I get to live life on vacation. I built a residual income from a home-based business. He begins to ask me questions, but I did not answer them there because I knew it wasn't the right time. So I rescheduled. I said, you know what? It might be something you could be interested in. And I got his information, and then I set an appointment, and I went face to face. So I don't want you to think that everybody that's having success is just doing it from Facebook. Yes, they are, and I do. And I sent him a video to watch of yours. You're actually a home-based business video. But I set the appointment to sit back down with him. He not only joined the business that day, they've got 4 people ready to start when I get back into town. I have talked with him while I was on vacation a couple of times because I didn't want to let him cool off on everything. But I think sometimes we rush to things. One of the biggest powers that I want everybody to hear is that, yes, you have lots of knowledge of lots of products, but you better listen to them. What's wrong with them? Where are they hurting? In his case, it wasn't. I assure you, this man wasn't looking to lose weight. He was in shape. He was in his mid-30s. He didn't need to lose weight. He looked really in shape and healthy. But man, he was sick of his job at 10 hours a day and 6 days a week, and he made good money, but he had no time. And all I said was, I think I might could help you with that. Guess what? He's already in.
Okay.
I set up a Zoom. Does that make point? I just wanted to make that point.
Absolutely.
Go back to what you're doing.
So, no. I just want to. I'm answering a couple of questions I've seen come through the chat, and that is they're all kind of a little bit relating to how do we show them. You obviously can, if you're not good at it yet, get somebody what we call a 2-on-1 to go with you and show. But the videos are strategically placed out there. You've got in Transformation Lifestyles are the business presentations, and they're up under either guides or announcements. And then on Transformation Health Styles, same thing, under guides or announcements, you'll find Kristen Doyle's athletic video on products. You'll find Dr. Ginger's transformation video on the transformation pack. So you go in there and learn where those are. That way you'll know exactly where to send people. Then Brent Palmer's got the rxexperience.com set up, the rxexperience.com. Both Dr. Crystal's and my video are there to show the presentation with. And then, heck, I learned this from your daughter this week, Chris. She has become the absolute best Zoom setter that I have in my business. I've had to get way better at it. Matter of fact, I learned this from Anthony, how he just kept doing these Zooms on my iPad in the passenger seat of my truck. And I was like, I always make it too complicated. I'm thinking I've got to be set up somewhere. And I've done like 3 Zooms this week while I was driving. I've got the presentation memorized. I can look at the road and just talk through my earpiece and use my thumb to move the slides. So I realized that I can do a Zoom anytime, anywhere for anybody. So Kristen this week, Chris's daughter, had 5 different Zooms. And what she would do, she makes contact. She doesn't tell them really anything. Most of the time when I'm arriving, they're just there because they trust her. And she gives me a good introduction. My Zooms are going to be 5 to 7 minutes tops. This is post getting to know them. Sometimes that getting to know conversation may go a little longer, but once we start the presentation, I do a 5 to 7 minute overview, meaning I don't go in depth on anything, just a sketch now. I brag on Kristen, let them know that she can answer any product questions, things like that, or whatever it may be. But then she always has us in a 3-way text, and I watch what she sends everybody. It depends on what they ask. But she used 3 websites in her text, and I looked at what she's doing, and everybody has joined, by the way. She's 100%. And these are people scattered throughout the country. None of them live in her town. But she sends them Nutrify.com to study the products if they're asking product questions. She sends them, and I didn't even know this website existed because she's real big on the burn and the Lemieux. So she sends them the LemieuxCompany.com. And I was like, Kristen, I said, I do this full time. I didn't even know there was a such website. I bet you don't know either, Chris. The LemieuxCompany.com, but it is fabulous. It has videos and all kinds of information on all the Lemieux products. And she sends them Slenderize.com. And I didn't know this either. If you scroll to the bottom of Slenderize.com, man, it goes in depth on the Slenderize, the Pure Nourish, the Power Boost. I honestly, I hate to say it, I didn't even know those were out there until I watched how she used them and how she got everybody's questions answered without having to spend 2 hours on the phone or set up an appointment to talk to a doctor or whatever it may be. She's really good. Thank you, Anthony, for putting that out there. And shame on you for not telling me about that website already. I didn't even know. Aaron, have you got anything to add? Because we're getting ready to close this out and show them how it turns to the money now.
The only thing that I would add, Todd, is just pick a lane, right? Like there's so many different ways to build. Pick what's comfortable for you and then just go do it. You just heard 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways. The one thing that I would caution you to do is don't try to do everything. Just pick one way, and then you might, kind of cast other nets out, learning the other ways, but do what's most comfortable for you, but then just do it.
Okay, so here's the math. We're paid 8 ways, and there are variables to what you're going to see. It could actually be far greater than this, and there's potential it could be a little less than this, depending on how you're building your business. So you do want to learn the compensation plan. Make sure you're learning how to maximize it. That's a training for another day, but this is really a conservative look. That the model is, let's go find you 4 brand partners, 4 people that pay $24.95, get their business qualified with 250 points, a starter pack, or maybe even become ultimate. If you had one person that became ultimate and you're a transformation, you've already made your money back on signing up one ultimate. But 4 brand partners, and let's go over time, get you 4 customers. Find you a couple products that you love that you can talk passionately about, and you'll be amazed how many people want to try it. And if you do that, generally speaking, your investment is going to be returned, and basically means you're going to have a couple of months of free product. And then let's go get those 4 brand partners to find their 4 brand partners and help them get 4 customers, which turns to 16. And if 16 get 4, it turns to 64. If you can get that done 3 times, for most people, the way that's going to grow out is into about $1,000 a month of income. So it's a nice, if you're a high school football coach like me, it's more than a difference maker. It's a life changer. And then you get that done a couple more times. 64 turns to 256. It's not on there, but 256 then turns to 1,024. So you need to do it 2 more times. End up with about 1,600 distributors in your business, and you're about $100,000 a year in income. Could be potentially more, but what I will tell you is that's the launching board. When you get those kind of numbers, then that's where you can spin it forward if you're willing to work hard and turn it into like life-changing generational money. And this has become my favorite slide that I use, thanks to Anthony Moreland. Another one I stole from him. And I'm using it now everywhere I go, because it just, when he said it to me, I was like, say that again. He was reading a post he'd found, and then he did it again. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And if you think about this scenario, the largest transportation company in the world now doesn't own a car. It's Uber. The largest movie company doesn't own a theater. It's Netflix. The largest hotel company has never built a hotel room. It's Airbnb. And Amazon now has become the largest retailer. Take it one step forward. Netflix stocks trading above $400 a share, and AMC Theater is trading at $10 a share. Netflix runs on air, and AMC's building $1 million theaters all around the country. So it's crazy how this all works. Guys, that's what you got your hands on. New age is a new age of business. From our smartphone and the app that's been created for us and the new apps that are coming in June, you literally can build a distribution network around the world from home, selling these products and you getting an override. And you could look up one day and be making more money on the sales of nutrition and skincare than Neiman Marcus or GNC did. It's an amazing deal. Chris, and I think Aaron had to hop off, but Chris, Anthony, any of you guys got closing comments and we'll call it a day.
You know, Todd, the only thing I want to add to everything is that this is really not work. Yes, I'm on vacation. I've taken a little time to get on this Zoom, but we're in a real timing situation that I think is going to do everything. And I want to go to Steve Swartz, and I want to, because I think Steve is on there with us.
I didn't see Steve just now.
Steve is on here with us, and he's not supposed to be talking money, but I did see a copy of his paycheck, and let's just say it was really good. And he's like, you can't retire this much because it's a lot larger than mine, but even though I could quit. But Steve, I want to go back because everybody thinks because they see you and your numbers, you started just like I did, and you started just like Todd did, you started like the rest of us did, and this was a time frame that you built to this. What'd you do different than anybody else? What have you watched people come and go and quit from the same group that started with you guys at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, you guys all probably started faster than I did, that's for sure. And sorry, my voice is a little raspy. I was yelling at 9th graders last night on the football field. So the residual income allows you to do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, I'm here taking notes because it's about consistency. And Todd hit it on in the beginning. It's anybody can just show up and like look really cool for like a month or 2 weeks, or they have a big flash in the pan. And it's always the consistency, the tenacity, the staying with it. Talking. I mean, last night I was talking to the doctor. I'm prospecting the doctor on the sideline after the freshman played. I watched my son in the varsity, and I'm talking to him. I did a retail sale this past week at the chiropractor office. I'm texting Ian right now about a big leader in another country. So, it's about staying consistent and always putting in. And this is a fun business. I mean, it's not like it's really work. I mean, sure, you have to do stuff, it's work, but I mean, going to Dell, that's a nightmare. I mean, I did it. Like I worked for corporate and I was like 5 seconds there. I was like, get me out of here. So you have to have a burning desire. Todd always talks about, it's either, you got to have something where it's driving you to do it. It's the timing in your life. If you just got a big promotion, you may think you're on cloud 9, but the reality is that can be taken away pretty quickly, but you may not be thinking about that. I was talking to a guy a couple nights ago. He does real estate, and he's talking about and he's like trying to like really think about how he would do this. But in his mind, he's not that hungry for it, right? So it's got to be something that you're hungry for. And I will tell you, the residual income factor in network marketing, nothing beats it. What they talked about today on the call, nothing touches it. I see people in all different types of businesses, the internet businesses, all of these influencers. People don't have the lifestyle, man. They don't have the lifestyle of a network marketing business ever. I see it all the time. I would go to these conferences that were outside of network marketing. I would meet the top people and I would talk to them. And I'm like, man, you might even make more money than me, but your life sucks. Like, I don't care. And so like, it's just what you have to think about, right? And so the reason I came into network marketing is I was doing losing money in the stock market. And I had some real estate properties. And I, as an Army officer, wanted to create residual income. I read a book, and that was the whole idea behind it. And luckily, the author was in network marketing, and I didn't follow him into like writing books. I didn't follow him into all these other things that people get involved in. And I stayed in my lane. I stayed on network marketing. Now I have another stream of income, especially with the stock, but I stay focused on that income and how to build that up even bigger. And, how much more money do you want to make? I don't know, just a little more. It's always just a little more, right? Just a little more, right? And so we have this new age. We're here, and stay simple with what we're doing here. If I, as like the top 3 or 4 person, and I don't know, in the company, whatever, I don't even get involved in whatever. If I'm getting a retail customer, if I'm talking to people about the opportunity, then you should be doing the same thing and just be consistent. And then And you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have one time like, I thought that person was going to join and they don't. And they're like, oh my gosh, you got to move past it. Right. And you got to be able to move past that. And then find ways to get back a hold of them. Anthony's follow-ups, like the front lines in the business are wherever you're on the phone or you're talking to someone in person. The front lines is you communicating with another person, answering the questions, going back and forth, getting someone on a three-way call. I'll grab people. There's not a real bunch of uplines. I got Tim, but I mean, I'm not going to take Tim to talk to every single prospect I have. That'd be crazy, right? So I will reach down into other people. Hey, can you talk to them about this? Find a reason, find a way to make it happen. And yeah, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of what you're doing. A lot of big motivational speaker guys that you hear about, a lot of them got started in network marketing and made their fortunes in network marketing. Many people don't even know this. And so don't ever be ashamed of network marketing. It beats the hell out of all these other businesses. And we just happen to be in a really sweet spot. Most people, we got a name, New Age. It's just a cool name. No one's even really heard of that. And we have this mammoth, and we're gonna have our first earnings. Who knows what's gonna happen on the earnings? But all I know is a couple of weeks ago, Europe was averaging 3 million. They did 5 million. We have the US a few months ago was doing X amount. Now it's even doing more. And it's because of the leadership that you guys are putting in. So the opportunity, if you're going around, and we have this tour coming up, all of these things, the opportunity is right in front of you to take charge. There is nobody building I mean, I live in California. Yeah, there's a team in Orange County, whatever, right, with Duke. But like the whole state of California is wide open. The whole state of Arizona is wide open. The whole state of wherever you want to think of is wide open. And so I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. And I can't wait to be at the next event with you guys.
Speaking of event, one last thing, and we'll close this out, Todd, if that's okay. Richard Tuggle will come back and give us the dates on Arkansas. Make sure you repost everything on MOA Challenge. We're looking forward to our 3rd annual event in the Arkansas area. So why don't you give us the dates on that?
Yeah, we're starting out in July, the weekend of July 23rd. Let me pull the calendar here, Chris. Make sure I've got these dates exactly right. Yeah, we're going to come in on the 22nd of July. We have the lodge booked for the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. We're going to be booking, getting rooms in the motels, and just 12 miles away is Batesville, Arkansas. They have several nice motels there. And so, you know, it's just a 12, 13-minute drive to the lodge. We're going to have quite a few people there. So we have the multi-purpose building on campus booked for that Friday and Saturday. And so we'll be able to accommodate everybody. We're going to be feeding people. John 3:16 Ministries is going to be catering the meals. And I tell you, you know, it keeps getting, this is our 3rd annual meeting. And last year was really good when the Limu people joined us. And we probably had 150, but we expect, you know, 300 to 400 people at this. And it's going to be a great event. We'll get it out in Facebook in the next week or so on MOA Challenge and the New Age Nation post and for more details.
Yeah, out of anything that Anthony has put out there post-wise, this is the big event between now and the big company event will be October 15th in Salt Lake City. That's coming Monday or Tuesday. We should have the flyers on that. But everything else is just going to kind of be regional Super Saturdays. But this Arkansas event is one that if you want to travel from Canada, if you can get across the borders by that time or anywhere in the country, come to this Arkansas event because the facility there is outrageous. It'll hold 1,000 if we need it to. But light shows, audio, we're going to be videoing. We've got professional videoers there. Food. It is, if you live in the city, it'll be an experience of a lifetime because it is in the absolute middle of nowhere, and just amazing people will be there training, and it'll be a great experience. You'll absolutely love it.
Hey, Todd, we've built a studio, spent thousands and thousands of dollars building a studio there for video and audio, and people will be coming in. And they've got a professional video crew on campus. We can do that. And also Richard Hawkins has set up for a get together for Saturday night in Batesville. We've rented the whole 2nd floor of a huge restaurant and they'll set up. We'll have a DJ and dance, and they've got stuff up in the restaurant that everybody wants. So
We'll
That's
take it to another level anyway. We'll get more details out. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for joining us. It's early for Steve. And we're always texting about things going on. Todd, see you guys. See you tonight. Anthony,
I just saw. I didn't see Steve's check. I just was going to text Steve and say, send me the paycheck. I realized he already did. I'm about to lose my mind, Steve. Congratulations, my friend. That's freaking awesome. I just sent it to Anthony and Richard. You see Anthony fall off his couch? That's more than I was making as a high school football coach. You made it in a week.
I know that, man. I got lucky, dude. That's what happened. Anyway,
we all get lucky every once in a while. You know what? You have got lucky for one thing, and maybe we should call it blessed, because you have found this company at the right place at the right time, whether you're here for the few months or a few years. Luck, I don't believe in luck, but I tell you what I do believe in. I believe in opportunity, and you taking advantage of it. We're sitting at a place, and there's going to be people that told me, they will tell me in a few years, man, you got lucky in that company. But it's the same people that I called, and I'm used to that. So, guys, we're finishing up Saturday. Great day. Thanks for being on, Todd. Thanks for Anthony. I always thank you and Susan, all those that take the little side things, take it easier. Sorry, my iPad overheated. I apologize. I'm going back out in that 80-degree sun as soon as I had to go back in the hotel room. So have a great day. Todd, see you tonight. See you soon, guys. Have a great day. If you can unmute everybody, Anthony, it'd be great.
Many blessings.
Thanks so much, folks.
Wow.
Great call.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.